जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी शोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन के श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन के श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री गौर निताय की श्रील प्रभुपाद की समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की ताय गौर प्रेमानंद ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुः उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Dapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we will discuss a very important topic called as you see, when we talk about superiority complex, it is not just a feeling of superiority. Huh? Otherwise, why the word complex is used? Huh? It is actually, read that, one of you can read this, one of you.
Superiority complex is not just feeling pride out of greatness. It is the boastfulness about oneself, claiming superiority over others in order to bury or suppress one's feelings of shortcomings.
Yeah. So this last line which I have written, suppressing one's feeling of shortcomings, that is a very important statement in this, because I read that next sentence.
Feeling of incompleteness or feeling unfulfilled or feeling loneliness or feeling something lacking in one's life, etc., is due to lack of strong connectivity and shelter in Krishna's lotus feet.
Ah. So, I can read that all living beings.
Material sphere being
No, all living beings.
all living beings need shelter and pleasure without which they cannot exist. They find it either in material sphere or spiritual sphere.
For example, say you are running on a hot sunny day on a tar road where even the tar road is melting, and you are running barefoot. Your soles of your feet are burning practically. You're screaming. At the time, you need the most is a tree, some large banyan tree shelter. You feel, when you come under the tree, you feel relief. So, in the same manner, in this world, there are many things pinching us, troubling us. When you're very hungry, you get shelter in prasad. When you are very thirsty, you get shelter in water. Isn't it? Similarly, one is craving for sex life, then one gets, one is in married life, there is a kind of arrangement. Then one satisfies, then the passion is finished after some time. After one indulges in it, then it doesn't remain anymore. Just like your food pacifies the hunger like that. Similarly, one is angry, one shouts, then one becomes pacified. But a greedy man can never be pacified. Bhagavatam says that. The angry man can become pacified by shouting, but the greedy man is never satisfied. So there are various shelters materially. Like, imagine some debtor. I mean, you became a debtor to somebody, they gave loan to you. Initially, he made a gentle reminder that you have not given back money on time. You say, I'm going to give, I'm going to give. You postponed 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Then his tone, becomes more stronger tone. Then he gathers some people to visit your home, asking when are you going to give the money back. Then he starts making threatening calls. I will do this, I will do that. Gundo ko bejunga, pitai karunga or whatever. He makes threat calls. Then you can't even sleep peacefully. At that time, your shelter is somebody who is ready to help you pay back the loan. And then he says, you are my good friend, you can pay me even in 10 years, I don't mind, whatever. So, in this way, all of us are subjected to challenges in this world. We are looking for shelter. In that shelter, we are looking for pleasure. Like for a newborn baby, the shelter is mother. In the mother's lap, the child finds the shelter. Similarly, the birds find their shelter in the nest. Everybody in this world is looking for. Uh, we are actually like a creeper looking for a tree. We have to be sheltered. So my special master, when he told about this counseling system, he was telling counseling system means he gave a very beautiful definition. He said, from the time a devotee is connected to Krishna consciousness till the last breath, he said the devotee should feel loved, cared for, wanted, protected, sheltered, till that point. And at any cross section of life, they should have some meaningful service which inspires them and keeps them going happily. Huh? That's the definition of counseling that he gave. Beautiful definition it is. It has two components it has. One component is the safety and security and the spiritual shelter one feels. Huh? Like I call it as a Cerelac baby. You know Cerelac baby? A baby who is Cerelac. There you have seen the like Farax baby. Farax are Cerelac when they eat, they look plumpy, correct? No? So when one is having a master and when one is sheltered in the master very nicely, then a person is very happy. For example, sometimes a girl from a village, she is married to a boy from a city, and she is very grateful that he's a highly educated man, I am a simple woman. Hmm. And she faithfully serves the husband, considering him like a representative of God. She's very grateful to her parents that they have handed her over to a good man like that. The man also is protective in his purpose says a chaste wife, protective husband, and grateful children. Prabhupada says, very good combination in a family. Huh? Wife is very chaste to him. Husband is very protective in nature. He protects her physically, emotionally, money, financially, in all respects, spiritually. So, and the children are grateful to parents, and that's a very happy family, you see. Hmm. On the other hand, sometimes we find the wife is not happy with the husband, and she thinks, I am also educated, I am also earning money. What this fellow can do for me? Like that she feels, you know, I am like a self-made woman. I have my bank balance. I can be happy myself. Then actually a husband has naturally the male ego, and the wife has insecurity. So if both have to be happy, that is why the Vedic combination of husband-wife is very powerful. So when a wife is sheltered in the husband feels very happy. Oh, she doesn't do anything on her own without consulting me. And she doesn't connect with any man uh, unless I bring some colleagues, ask her to cook prasad and give, only then she will do. Otherwise, she doesn't connect with any other man. She always keeps herself little aloof. So when then the man is feeling very confident in his life, he gets a lot of energy from such a wife. And wife, she is very insecure, but the husband is a protector, provider, and guide. Correct, now? He protects her, he provides for her, and is a guide. And she is sheltered in such a man, very peaceful. Just like you see Devahuti. Although Kardama was living in the forest, he was powerful provider. He took her in the aerial mansion all around, correct, no? Provider. And he protected her spiritually by giving her a son who is the supreme personality of Godhead. Such a spiritual protection he gave. And he guided her also what is to be done. So, in this way, that was a very powerful match. She was very chaste and faithful to him, and he was a very powerful husband. So, naturally, the husband wife combination was very powerful. So, in the same manner, uh, you will find all through the Shastra, the one is the Purusha principle, another one is Prakriti principle. Why am I calling it principle? Because you will see that although we say Purusha, for example, Shiva and Parvati, they are like Shakti and Shaktiman. But ultimately, there is only one Supreme Purusha who is Purushottama. But everybody else in relation to him is Prakriti, in relation to him. So, other than the Supreme Lord, everybody is Prakriti. But within that Prakriti, there is a Purusha Prakriti type of combinations are made. For example, a Brahmana is the leader of the 3 classes. Sannyasi is the leader of the 7 classes. Like that you will find. So Guru is the leader of the disciple, like that. So in that type of combination, if the younger one doesn't feel sheltered in the superior one, then the relationship doesn't come out well. Then, for example, nowadays in our society, ISKCON society also, there are many, many people, coming from varied backgrounds, and they take initiation from various people. And the initiations are sometimes hurried through, right now. People just 6 months, 1 year they take, and then and after 3, 4 years they look back. Oh, what is this? They give an initiation because their tastes are different. Then they think that, oh, I am attracted to this, I am attracted to that, I want to do that, I want to do that. Then they have, although one is physically sheltered, there is no, what do you call it, interaction between the two. It happens in family also sometimes, correct, no? Yeah. It can happen that husband, wife, they are physically existing, but there is no some proper connection because of lack of shelter and pleasure in that. Like Narayana is able to give such a shelter to Lakshmi, she never wants to leave the feet of Narayana. Correct, no? Have you ever heard in any Purana Shastra that Lakshmi got bored with Narayana? You'll never hear that. Huh? For the sake of Leela, she'll be separated and then eventually they'll be reunited. You will see that. Hmm? So, therefore, all living beings need shelter. In that shelter, they find pleasure. Without this, they cannot exist. Huh? And then, when we all come in this world, we also look for shelter actually. And if you are not spiritually growing, advanced, then actually we look for the shelter in material sphere, I have written. What is material sphere? For example, I can be a ISKCON devotee, but my shelter can be in, some people have post, they have a key bunch. I can, I have my office, I have my, what do you call it, designation. I have my, along with the designation comes powers, some amount of powers. I have my vehicle, I have my own car, my office, my bank balance, and my followers, and my prestige, my status. If there is some very big event, I'll be called to the stage. And so these are things which may offer shelter to some people. But these are hollow shelters, because these shelters cannot give inner fulfillment. These can only externally make you appealing to the world. huh? So that is the meaning of finding our shelter in material sphere, even in a spiritual organization. huh? And what is the meaning of getting shelter in spiritual sphere? If somebody has found shelter in the holy name, Haridas Thakur found a great shelter in the holy name. Otherwise, how he is chanting 3 lakh names every day, isn't it? Mm. Similarly, you will find great devotees, like Rup Sanatan, they took shelter of Lord Chaitanya, and they became fully sheltered in his lotus feet and aligned with him. And then he gave them so many services for them. You will see that. So we have to, somebody finds a great shelter in a particular service, like, somebody is attached to the worship of the deity, and whole life they do that, put their sweat and toil, and, so similarly, many of the devotees here, you all found a very strong shelter in service to Srimad Bhagavatam here. So you don't even know how the time is passing, how many years passed. You will not even realize it. So in that shelter, you get great bliss, spiritual bliss. Read the next para, material sphere.
Material sphere being constantly subjected to changes causes continuous anxiety. Sada samudvigna diyam.
What is that was? Sada samudvigna dhyam atagrahat. What is the famous verse? Tatsadhu manye asuravarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhyam. Dhyam means buddhi. Sada samudvigna means that buddhi which is always disturbed and multi-branched. It is not vyavasayatmika buddhi. So the Bhagavad Gita, this is a very big talk. Tasya prajna pratishtita. Repeatedly that word will come, isn't it? Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparaha vashayyasyendriyani tasya prajna pratishtita yada samharate chayam kurmongani va sarvashakha indriyani indriyartebhyas tasya prajna pratishtita. One more verse is there. What is the another verse? Yas sarvatra anavisnehas tat tat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti Tasya prajna pratishtita. All these three verses, they talk about, how one's contemplative intelligence, when it becomes fixed up, then a devotee is a very serious devotee. Huh? And that happens by one who tames the mind and disciplines the senses. Huh? Such a person can, that's a beginning step. Huh? Eventually, buddhi will become fixed up. He says how to restrain the senses like a tortoise, he says. Hmm? And also, that's not enough. Then one has to engage in yukta asita matparaha, in the Supreme Lord. So, anartha nivritti and artha pravritti, that can make one's intelligence one pointed, focused. Otherwise, without taming the mind and disciplining the senses and focusing one's intelligence on spiritual substance, without that, sada samudvignadiyam asadgrahat, like the Prahlad told. Huh? My dear father, I can see that although you have conquered all the three worlds, you have failed to conquer your senses and mind. Huh? Therefore, you are so disturbed. Huh? Like the Prahlad told him. And then one more verse I have quoted there. Asajja manasya duranta chintaya. This comes in the Muchukunda section. Huh? Muchukunda section. He himself says that asajja means attached. Asajja manasya means my mind being attached to the worldly enjoyments. Duranta chintaya, he is saying. Anta means end, Duranta means, unending type of anxieties. He says also, Chintam aparimeyam cha pralayantam vashitaha. He says, no, Kamopabhoga parama yetavat iti nishchitaha. Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita, Asha pasha sateir baddha kama krodha prayanaha ihante kama bhogartam anyayena artha sanchayan. That's all in 16th chapter. Huh? So, there also Krishna talks about the asadgraha. Mohat grihitva asadgrahat. Pravartante ashuchi vratau. Like that is saying. Mohat grihitva. Because of illusion, they are holding on to that which is always temporary and on a tottering platform. They hold on to that and they keep on suffering because that platform is a changing platform, he says. Therefore, one is. So, that section you read in 16th chapter, that exactly describes this material sphere. Taking shelter of material sphere is the most foolish thing. It is like catching the tail of a dog and hoping to cross the Atlantic Ocean. It's like that. That example is given in Bhagavatam. Taking shelter of devatas. It's like that example of catching hold of a tail of a dog. Like that it says, like that. Or it says taking shelter of a stone boat. So actually if you put a stone in the water, immediately it drowns. Correct? But imagine you sit in the stone boat and then put it in the water. Immediately you will drown without much delay. So material life is kamala dalajala jivana thalamala. So things are constantly in a flux in this world. So if anybody wants to get rid of anxiety, one should definitely make an effort to, as soon as possible, move from material shelters to spiritual shelter. Yesterday we were discussing in the Bhagavatam class in the morning, very interesting verse. It says that the living entity is suddenly, slapped by time in such a way that, unexpectedly he loses the hard-earned wealth in one moment. For example, there was one father and mother. The father thought that I have only one son, let me put all my life investment and buy a house. Big bungalow he purchased, nice villa type of bungalow with garden around and everything. So he told the son, better for you, I put all my money and I purchased this. And son was very happy. But then after he got married and had children, his attitude changed. Then burbur kurkur, all the problems started in the home. Then at one point of time, he told the parents that you better vacate the house, go to some other place. And when the father vacated the house, he had to go to relatives. And when he became an old man, he had to live in different relatives' houses. As soon as they would show some signs of displeasure, he will move to another relative's house. At one point of time, when he became very old, he had to live in the old age home. And he was as if he was a dead man practically. He said, what kind of man I was. I had such respectability in society, such prestige. Now nobody looks at me. People look down upon me, even in my own township. And my people, my only son has ditched me. Like that, he felt. So this can happen in a... Similarly, there was another businessman. This businessman was a flourishing businessman for 25 years. He was well known in the marketplace. His small shop expanded into huge size shop. And he had very good sales, grocery and all those different items and everything. A flourishing shop, well known in the city and everything. But then the government officers took note that this fellow is making too much profit nowadays. Immediately some people antagonize on. If you are making a lot of money, once you have a lot of money. So the government officers came, they said, see, government taxes X amount for you. So they were demanding bribery. They were demanding, if you give us bribe, we will save you from income tax. First of all, he neither wanted tax nor the bribe to give. He was trying to escape from both. Meanwhile, those people not satisfied with the bribe given, his bargaining given with us and everything, they at one point of time, they froze the bank account and they sealed the shop. And when that was happening, some of his shop employees, they thought that, oh, if the shop is going to be closed, jitna ho sakta hai, loota looti kar lo. So they started doing corruption and cheating and looting. So the shop came to a halt. You can imagine how miserable the man must have become. Because his wife and the family members, they had also increased their demands proportionately as the shop was becoming bigger. Their demands also become bigger or smaller. Yeah. And suddenly when the shop is closed, do you think from luxury and comfort to a life of simplicity is easy, or to go from simplicity to luxury is easy? Yeah. So actually, coming from a luxurious life to a simple life, is it easy? Very difficult. Very, very difficult. See, if you are sleeping in a chatai like this, and you are given a gaddi to sleep, you will be grateful. But you have been always sleeping in gaddi. We say today there is no gaddi, sleep in chatai, you will give bad words. Correct now? Correct now? Isn't it? So, it was becoming difficult. Yeah. Similarly, one man put, his entire life savings in a bank, which was giving 24%. See, government banks give, I think, 6% or 8% they give, I think. But this fellow thought, I'll multiply my money. Foolishly he put, and that bank went bankrupt. And he lost his money. He went practically mad, because he had no other money. He became like from billionaire to beggar, like that. Such things do happen in this world. So the material shelters are dangerous in this world. The first example I told you, the father thought my son is the shelter for me. Then he got cheated. Second example, a man thought my bank balance is the shelter. So that money was all taken away completely. Yeah. And the third fellow thought this high interest paying bank is my shelter. Isn't it? That high interest paying bank went bankrupt. So in this world, where else is a shelter? If you take shelter of any of those things, one can be completely cheated. Nowadays, you find even in the colleges, boys, girls are so foolish. They have become dull-headed because they don't study Bhagavad Gita and Vedic literatures. So one boy came to the temple saying that, he innocently introduced his girlfriend to a boy, and that girl ran away with that boy. So he lost his shelter. So he went mad. He was thinking of committing suicide. But somebody told him, better go to ISKCON temple. So he came to the ISKCON temple and started chanting. So somebody told him to come and meet me. So he came and met me and said, Prabhuji, somebody told me that you will give some good advice. Just last week I started coming to ISKCON temple. And then I asked him, what inspired you to come? I asked him. He started crying. Why are you crying? What happened? You have come to the right place. So he said, Prabhu, this girlfriend was with me. We were in a relationship for 2 years. And she cheated me, and then she ran away with another boy. Then I said, oh, this is Krishna's mercy on you. He said, mercy? Krishna slapped me. God has kicked me, slapped me like this in my life. Is broken love mercy? I asked, I told him, see, if she married you and did what she did now, you'll have to pay compensation also. It will be glass, isn't it? And after that. Now at least she ran away before marriage only. So in fact, I said that she has saved your good life. Now you can marry a good devotee girl, peacefully live. That way, her going with other boys shows her unchastity, correct, no? It shows her unchaste behavior. It's good only for you. Let she go, no problem. Number one. Number two, I said, greater than that mercy what she gave you by running away is she inspired you to go to Krishna now. Yeah, you came to Krishna's shelter, isn't it? If difficulties that come in our life are pushing us to Krishna's lotus feet, is it not mercy? Isn't it? So he came from material shelter to spiritual shelter. Correct now? He was thinking she is the ocean of bliss. Now he understood. She is not the ocean of bliss, she is the ocean of misery, huh? Isn't it? Krishna is the ocean of bliss, you see. Mm. Read the next one, spiritual sphere.
Spiritual sphere offers shelter of internal potency where a jiva gets loving service to Krishna and feels completely nourished and satisfied and does not feel need for anyone else or anything else and feels safe, secure, stable, satisfied and blissful.
Yeah. So there are two types of wealth. Let us make a table. Correct now? So you can see the difference between see. You can see the difference. Oh, therefore we should know the difference. It's very, very important. Why we take the shelter of spiritual thing. Actually, unfortunately, in this world, the spiritual shelter cannot. People don't understand the importance of spiritual shelter. Huh? Because what is immediately visible to the eyes of most people are the material shelters, huh? Which because it's available to you. For example, it's like junk food is in front of you, and the healthy food is inside the store or somewhere inside the room. Huh? So what is immediately accessible, that's what people eat, and then they suffer also. Correct? So just like in computer, you say, bring to front, send to back. What is not good for you, send to back. The other one you bring to front. So the spiritual shelter has to be brought to front. So that is why most people, even in religious organizations, they may be focusing on material, shelters, due to which many times there are a lot of quarrels and differences and fights, even in spiritual organizations, even in religious organizations. You will see that when you take spiritual shelter, there is nobody to quarrel with you. Like for example, Radheshyam was chanting 3 lakh names, correct? No. Now one day you want to chant 25 rounds. Can anybody fight with you? You know, yeah. You see who is going to shout at you that you are supposed to chant 16 rounds. Why did you chant 25 rounds? Nobody is going to ask. Or if you decided that, oh, this week I want to do Bhajana Sandhya, go to temple and do 2 hours of kirtan. Huh? Or I want to sit in a puja room and sing some 10 Vaishnava songs. Huh? You develop some sankalpa like that. Who can stop you? Huh? For spiritual activities, there is no competition. Actually, there are two roads. One road is a busy road where buses and trucks and cars and bang, 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 they're putting on. That is the Basana Bas road. And another road is Dasana Das road, where hardly anybody is there. So that is spiritual shelter. And for the material shelter, there's a big competition, cutthroat competition there. So with this background, we will get into the PPT now. Let us say I read that give up self-righteousness, overcome superiority complex in the right bottom. A person with
A person with superiority complex personality disorder has a exaggerated feeling of self-importance.
like you see on the left side picture, see, the man is standing, and on the shadow it shows like Superman, correct? No? So he's imagining I am like a Superman. I am a big manager. Talk. No? He's thinking, he's imagining himself to be somebody more than what he is. Correct? No? Same thing here. This fellow is thinking, I am such an angry manager. If I wave the hand and shout, I can make so many people afraid of me. Like that he is thinking. Same picture you see here. He's thinking I'm a Superman. When he's putting his, correct, no? Coat, boot, suit, tie, he's thinking I'm like a Superman. He's about to fly now. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I read that. What is superiority complex?
A superiority complex is a psychological defense mechanism. The term was created by Alfred Adler to describe an exaggerated sense of self-worth that hides real feelings of mediocrity.
Mediocrity, yeah. Correct.
Developing this in a minor form at some point in life is somewhat inevitable. We all do it from time to time in order to cope with certain situations, but there are people who might be suffering chronically and have no idea about it.
Yeah. I am giving many examples. It will become easy when you go ahead. See here, one example of topper girl who boasted. Read about her. Yeah.
The topper who boasted, a college topper would constantly remind everyone of her ranks, medals, and awards. She would show off, correct others publicly, and feel irritated when someone else was appreciated.
Yeah.
Hidden truth. When she failed to secure an internship once, she cried alone and confessed to a friend, if I am not number one, who will even respect me? I am nothing without achievements. Her superiority was a shield to hide deep insecurity and fear of not being valued.
Yeah. Actually, such a girl or a boy, they think that the world is always looking at me, and I have to show who I am to the world to earn the respect. They think like that. Huh? They think that, what about my looks? Am I looking cute, smart enough? And how is my CGPA? And what type of placement I get? And what type of job I get? What are my pay and perks? What type of car I use? What type of house in which I live in? So, because the world is looking at me, and I have to prove to the world I am somebody. Correct, no? So, and then when any of those things are taken away, or modified, or changed, or shattered, then this person thinks my whole existence is finished. They feel like that. On the other hand, one who is spiritually advanced, they know that first of all, I am not even the body. What is because the other things? Other things are all and outside the body. My house, my car, my post, and all these things. Mm. See, first time when I was in IIT, I went to Chopper Temple. Radha Gopinath Prabhu was going for Harinam Sankirtan to Chapati beach, along with some that that orphanage school children, and some other boys also. So that was my first Harinam experience, going with Radha Gopinath Prabhu. He was singing in the front of the road with the hands raised with the mic and singing and dancing. I was a bit shy in the first time. I didn't even know what Harinam is at that time. Going in the crowd. Then I was looking around both sides who are all watching these people and what different people might be thinking about the devotees. I was just trying to assess. Some people, you can see in Bombay how situation is. People are so super materialistic. Uh, the road, hardly people bother about you, hardly. If you go to some village, maybe they will, hold the palms or bow down or whatever. So, but I saw he was like absolutely oblivious to the environment outside. In his own world, he was dancing, singing, jumping, making everybody jump, and then it went towards the beach. I also went. And then when they went to the beach, they put the book bag and everything down. And he made a circle and everybody danced. We all danced in the circle. And as we were dancing, huge crowds of people, almost like 200-300 people, made a big circle around us to watch what the guys are doing. As soon as the crowd gathered, he stopped the kirtan and then he spoke about how we are like the parrot in a cage. We are suffering in this world. You see, a fish cannot be happy without water. You should be. He said, "Look at this ocean. Fishes are very happy in the water. If you take them out, they can't be happy." So those kind of little examples he gave, and then he told them about spiritual world, material world, and he showed the books. And then devotees went around, selling the books. Few books were sold, about 30-40 books were sold. And then people started scattering, moving off. Then he went in the beach some more distance, doing Harinam. We all went. Again, we made circle and dance in another place. Again, another big circle came. That's how it was. Harinam was like that. So that was my first Harinam experience. Because although I was a bit shy while going to the beach, on the way back, I got full confidence after that. Just going with a senior devotee and experiencing the Harinam, isn't it? So, one of my personal realizations from going for Harinam is it completely dissolves your bodily identification. huh? External. On one hand, it dissolves your material identification with the material world, what people consider you as externally. Another thing Harinam does is it gives you a strong sense of belonging to Krishna. I am Krishna's man. I am Prabhupada's man. It rivets your consciousness in spiritual platform. Yeah? Harinam Sankirtan, when you go out, you wear a simple dhoti kurta, tilak. I am Prabhupada's man. I am Krishna's man. I am ISKCON man. And we are here, all these foolish jivas are suffering. It's our duty on behalf of Lord Gaur Nitai. We should give them the books. We should give them the holy name. We should give them prasad. You feel super confidence and you lose your bodily identification, the external world. And in this way, when you remove the coverings, not literally remove the covering, let covering be there, but you don't identify with it. When you lose that identification, that you feel so jolly, because you don't belong to the material. It's like you are in this world, but you are not of this world. So that is very essential for ISKCON devotees. Now, what mistake happened, I can say, as ISKCON progressed in number of decades, many people thought that, we have to be practical, how can we go for Harinam every day? How can we go for book distribution every day? We also have to cook and we have to bring some funds, we have to run the temple, we have to do this, do that. And then it became just like we say, churchianity, we say, no, it's no more Christianity. Christianity becomes churchianity. Churchianity means what? You have a very big church and you have a abbot, you have, there are some brethren, above that there is an abbot, there is a bishop, then there is a pope. But the structure is there, big structure, but the church functions only on Sunday. Sunday, there is one, people come to the church for some, they kneel down and they do some confession and they pay a donation. And on the donation, church is running. Similarly, ISKCON has the danger of becoming like one. If the residents of a temple are not fired up in spiritual activities, if they are not going out on Harinam, going out on book distribution, not preaching, and not keeping themselves 24/7 spiritually active. Spiritually, if I am repeatedly taking shelter, then I will identify more and more on which platform? Spiritual platform. And the more I withdraw from spiritual activities, then easily the material identities cover you. Like we were in Boston, we were about having 45 students, we went for a retreat. But it was in January. It was minus 20 degrees centigrade. You can imagine, wherever you turn around, you see only ice. you know, it's like completely snow covered everywhere. Somehow or other, of course, we went in the car, where we have, in the car, we have the higher, better temperature. When you get out of the car, we ran into that bungalow, then we locked up the door, window, everything. And inside we have heat pump. So you are no worry. 3 days. Yeah. So then third, after 3 days, fourth day morning when we came, we were planning to return back, and we were shocked because the car was missing. So everybody was worried. Has somebody stolen the car? We never came out those 3 days. Then one boy observed that there was the snow, which was like this, was like this, like a mountain. Hoji, is it really a mountain or something else? He said. Then somebody brought a heavy rod and hit. And then we found when the snow was a little bit removed, we saw the metallic portion. And the car was inside. Correct, no? So, very nice observation. You can see that when the car is standing, the ice which falls from the sky is very soft. It is so soft, children even take it and make balls like this and they play also. Huh? You will see that. But if you don't remove it immediately, it gradually settles and becomes hard like a stone. Huh? You will see that. So avidya is like that only. Huh? Avidya starts very soft. That's why Maya doesn't cover you in one day. Maya covers you gradually. My Guru Maharaj gave a very famous lecture in those days, in 90s. He said, Maya says, I don't want your 24 hours, just 1 minute. Then half a minute. Huh? You know, that's how she comes in. Just like that story of that camel and the sheikh, no? The camel saw the sheikh is sleeping inside the tent. So the camel thought, I am freezing in the cold outside. This fellow is sleeping very comfortably. So he put his head inside and saw the sheikh sleeping. Sir, can I have my head inside? It's too cold outside, he said. Sheikh said, all right, don't disturb me. I'm sleeping. He said. Then after some time he asked, sir, can I put my two front legs inside? It's too cold outside. No need to ask me. Don't disturb me. Okay, it's all right, he said. Then after some time, suddenly the sheikh was feeling freezing cold. And he opened his eyes and he saw the stars and moon. And he was wondering what happened. Tent was here and he was outside. Inside the tent, who was there? Huh? Camel. That's how Maya comes. Maya comes. First she puts the head and then two legs inside and then full body inside and then you're out. So Maya can cheat, but gradually, but surely that's how she cheats us. So when spiritual activities are such that they don't appear to be very important, getting up in the sleeping early and getting up in the morning and chanting and aratis, reciting Bhagavatam and going outdoor, Sankirtan, and distribution of books and everything. So when these activities are compromised, then gradually like the snow falling, covering comes little, just and what is the problem in getting covered over? How do we know we are getting covered over? Our material identification will become increased. And we will be fighting over trivial issues. Petty things, small things over it. This is my area, that's your area. Territorial clashes will come, and then, what did you say? Yesterday you used that word. Yesterday you said this over trivial issues. There'll be internal clashes, fights over trivial issues. And another symptom of material consciousness increasing is people will want to hold on to certain things for themselves. This is for me. How can you take it? This is for me. Whether I'm using or not, don't ask me, but you can't touch it. That kind of thing. Holding on to things, attachment to certain things, positions. They want position without doing service. Territorial issues, clashes. and boastful of oneself, being critical of others, offenses. All these things are symptoms of material consciousness, you see. See, one more example I'll give and read that.
The manager in corporate. A senior manager constantly interrupted juniors, called them kids, and rejected suggestions without listening. He seemed very confident, even arrogant. Hidden truth. He once revealed anxiously to HR, I'm scared a younger employee who will take my position. If I don't dominate, they will replace me. His arrogance was a mask to cover fear of losing relevance.
Yeah. See, this senior fellow, he is not able to keep abreast of the fast pace in which the world is going. Huh? At the same time, he is also afraid that those guys who are keeping abreast and are more intelligent and more talented, and see, nowadays, if you are a senior man, it is not enough to be hardworking. It is not enough to say that, I come before the siren and I leave after the siren. No. You may be very hardworking, you may be loyal, faithful. These are all the old traits that you needed. Nowadays, people, even if you don't go to company at all, but you are money smart, you are people smart, you are business smart, you are agile, huh? You are shrewd to bring business for the company, to make money for the company. You don't have to put your feet in the company at all nowadays. Huh? So, therefore, there are going to be juniors to us who do even better than us. Huh? That's a possibility. Here, you look at this fellow, he is becoming irrelevant, but he is not ready to admit it. And look at the other two subordinates also, how they are. That Mataji is keeping her hand on the head, you see. Huh? You can see that. Huh? They're fed up because they feel that he is becoming irrelevant. There was one very talented devotee in one IT company who used to give very good ideas. But the boss was like this only. So then what did the devotee do? That devotee left that company and went to another company, which is a growing company. And in that company, that devotee went to very high ranks and did great things for that company. So similarly, nowadays markets are changing, old things are becoming obsolete. If one is going to be sticking on to the old things, like our Bhaktivinoda Thakur tells one story in that connection. In the Upadesha Upakhyan, he says, there was one man who was telling that this is the ancestral well, and we should drink water only from this well only. We should not bring water from anywhere. So some people told, see, over the years, lizards and scorpions and snakes and all have taken shelter of this well. So water has become very like poisonous and bitter, and it's not good. Better let us bring water from another place, they said. He said, no, 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 this is ancestral, from here only we should take. He was very much orthodox. And all the family members, they drank the water and everybody died. In that whole family, he says. So what moral of the story? Some people say, this is Nityananda Vamsh, this is Advaita Vamsh, you should take Diksha only from them. Some people say. But then you may say, but okay, they're coming in the Vamsh, but they are not showing any symptoms of Krishna consciousness. There are many people, Kula Gurus, coming in the spiritual line. Like even today, there are organizations which say that the Guru's son only should become the next Guru. They are still following that. Imagine if Prabhupada's son would become the founder acharya for ISKCON. I mean, like next to Prabhupada, But if he doesn't show symptoms like Prabhupada, how can he be accepted like Prabhupada? Correct, no? Therefore, Prabhupada was very strict about it. He said, no, all the things that I did in ISKCON belongs to those who faithfully follow me. Property of ISKCON, he didn't move it to his family members. So, we have to understand. So the foolish man killed all the members of the family because of that attachment to that ancestral well, he says. So similarly, attaching ourselves to the orthodox old ways of doing things, sometimes we have to know, according to Desh Kala Patra, how to do things in such a way that the movement will be successful. So one should see, are the books going out? Is Harinam Sankirtan happening? Is Prasadam distribution happening? Are the centers getting more and more committed, dedicated, sincere devotees? Are we increasing the number of devotees year after year? Are the existing devotees, coming together, reading, chanting, hearing, and blissfully situated? So those things should be seen. So this fellow, read that, Superiority Complex. Key takeaway, read it.
Superiority complex is not pride. It is pain disguised as pride.
The person doesn't think they are better, they are terrified that they are not enough. Therefore, they create a false self, I am better than you, to avoid facing, I am afraid I am not good enough.
Yeah, actually, they don't mean I am better. They are only the fear they get is I am afraid I am not good enough. To cover up that fear or insecurity, they claim I am better than you. They know they are not better. You understand, no? This is a very deep point it is. See, the right side has shown one more thing. Do not. You have the mic with you?
Do not put others down in order to build up your own image.
This is what these people do with superiority complex. Like, for example, somebody is becoming a very good preacher. Like, for example, see, there is one person who is a kathakar, and another kathakar is flourishing. Then he will find some fault in his katha. He will say, "Theek hai," he may make people laugh, people cry. He's just emotional preacher. क्या है कोई भी कर सकता है, like that they may say. Or he may say, ठीक है, what does he know? He speaks all basic philosophy. उसने आचार्य को टीका नहीं पढ़ा. They will make a comment like that. Or he will say that, see, even in Prabhupada, when he made ISKCON very big, some of his god brothers were envious. They were saying, Swami Maharaj, he was a businessman. He knows the strategy, how to go around the world and, how to attract the people. He's very good in selling any product, he can do that, like that he said. So, it's not a very great deal, even we can also do, like that they were saying. So, then Prabhupada told the story of that Columbus discovering America. So, Prabhupada said that, Columbus, when he discovered America, other people said, what is a great deal about it? Other sailors, they were saying, if we went in our ship like this, we also would have found America, like that they said. So Columbus was very intelligent. He called all the sailors for a meeting. There he said, he took a egg and said, any of you can make the egg stand vertically like this in the table. They said, what are you talking? If you keep it like this, it will fall. It's not possible to keep it like that. Are you confident? He asked them. They said, yes. We are 100% confident you can never make it like this, they said. But he said, I will show you how to make it stand direct. And he cut at the bottom, like that little bit. And then he kept it, it stood vertical like this. They said, oh, what is so great about it? Even we can also do it, they said. He said, yes, you can do it, but after I show how to do it. I showed you, therefore you could do it. And Prabhupada told this. Prabhupada said, now I have shown you how things are being done. Now you can copy it if you want. And Prabhupada said, Krishna says, use all your talents in propagating Krishna consciousness. What wrong did I do? Prabhupada asked. I only did the right thing. Okay, he gave me business talent. I used the talent in propagating Krishna consciousness. Why are you envious? You are just sitting in the dham and you have a few Bengali widows and few Bengali men in a small matha, and you have put your name and sitting in the matha, not be able to expand, do anything. If I'm doing something good, why should you be envious? Correct, no? So, do not put others down in order to build up your own image. Yeah. What causes a superiority complex?
Paradoxically, superiority complexes are bred from deep-rooted insecurities. According to experts, superiority complexes and inferiority complexes are just two different manifestations of the same self-esteem issues. The other manifestation of self-esteem issues is called an inferiority complex, which is an overstated feeling of weakness. It often hides true motives such as aspirations for power. The place where many get confused is because many people with superiority complexes are dealing with a sense of inferiority within themselves.
Yeah. There are examples. Read that. King Duryodhana. What was the outward behavior of Duryodhana and what is the hidden truth?
King Duryodhana, outward behavior, spoke with great pride about being greatest Kshatriya, insulted the Pandavas to feel superior, constantly showed envy toward Bhima and Arjuna. Hidden inner truth, he was terrified of being lesser than Yudhishthira in virtue and lesser than Arjuna in skill. His arrogance was a mask to protect a fragile self-esteem. Superiority complex as defense. If I don't prove myself greater than them, I'll be forgotten.
This is the fear they have. Huh? I have to, what do you call it? Assert my presence. Huh? My home. Huh? That kind of thing. I am there, and people should take notice of me, and I should not become neglected. Like sometimes people go for some function, and they are very worried that I should not be ignored. Huh? My presence should be acknowledged. Huh? And I am very important. I should be given that kind of dignity, that kind of welcome, and my name should be announced, and some appreciation should be done. And they take too much, fear that I should not be ignored. So here also he thought that, I am the king's son, so naturally I should be the next king. Huh? How is it that Yudhishthir and other people can, they can take the kingdom? That was his point. But actually speaking, Dhritarashtra was not the king. Who was the king? Pandu. But Pandu was very fond of forest. He would go to forest life, he liked very much. One time, Pandu went and conquered many, many kingdoms and brought a lot of wealth, huh? Gold and everything. And he came back and gave it all to Dhritarashtra. He was so unattached, huh? Like father, like sons. Huh? He was like that. He was very chivalrous also. Huh? He conquered and brought. And then he told Dhritarashtra that, I am going to forest for some time with my wives. And then he was like in charge, correct? No? Dhritarashtra was made like in charge. Why Dhritarashtra was not qualified? Because he was blind. And Vidura was not considered fit because he was born of Dasiputra. So out of the three brothers, those two were ruled out. So naturally Pandu was the king. But then once Kindama Rishi and his wife, they changed their body to look like a deer. They had become a deer and they were uniting to beget a child. Because one is not supposed to unite in a public open place. So they become deer, but by mistake, his arrow pierced those deers when they were uniting. So then he got a curse that when you are doing the same with your wife, if you do it, you will be killed like that. So after that, Kunti and Madri, they both warned him that you'll be very careful, that you refrain from this. You should not do this. And then instead of him begetting the children, Kunti had that special benediction of evoking a demigod and then getting the children, correct? No? That's how the Pandavas were begotten, and in the presence of the husband. So, but later on in his union with Madri, he left, at one point of time. So he was a very virtuous king. So naturally, the fatherless children, when they came to the court, they are supposed to ascend the throne, but they were too young to ascend at that time. So therefore, their uncle Dhritarashtra was supposed to be there for a while. Just like musical chair, people catch a chair now. It's not a permanent chair. You can sit for a while, but after that you have to vacate the place. Correct? No. Just like you give an Olympic torch to somebody, you run. After some time, you're supposed to hand over to somebody. Not that, sorry, I have been running all the while, I'm attached, I want to keep it with me. Also, they call it rolling shield, you know that? Is it rolling shield? Why it is called rolling? Rolling trophy. Every time it will go to different person. Whoever wins will get. Not that you keep it in your bureau and lock it and say, I can't give it. Now I got it, I will have it forever. So, Dhritarashtra should do his job. And then when Pandavas ascend the throne, then he should hand it over, which he was not ready. So he was blind, he was passive envy. Who? Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana was active envy. This is the main point. His arrogance was a mask to protect a fragile self-esteem. He feared that what will the people in the world talk about me? राजा का बेटा राजा नहीं बन पाया. लोग क्या सोचेंगे हमारे बारे में? मैं जिंदा कैसे रहूंगा? मरना ही श्रेष्ठ है. Like that he was telling to uncle. See, he's talking to Uncle Shakuni. He said, Uncle Shakuni asked him, Duryodhana, why are you so unhappy? After going to the Indraprasth, on the way back he asked him. He said, Uncle, who in this world can remain happy after seeing their enemies prosper? He said. And uncle asked her, what is the great deal? You can also perform a big festival in the palace, and many will come and give you gifts also. Duryodhana said, that's not the point. That's not the point, uncle. You don't understand. I am not saying I want gifts like the Pandavas. I am saying that the Pandavas should be wiped out for the world to know my importance. That was his attitude. So this is a very dangerous attitude it is. Just like our Hitler thought the whole world of Jews should be wiped out. This wiping out consciousness is a very dangerous consciousness. Others should be wiped out so that I will gain importance. Correct, no? Like you see, Dhruva wanted to wipe out the Yakshas. And Janamejaya wanted to wipe out the snakes. Hitler wanted to wipe out Jews. Hiranyakashipu wanted to wipe out Prahalad. You also try to wipe out the Katmal in your house, they will multiply. You have seen that? Katmal is the bed bug. Any of you have seen that? Sometimes in the bed, when the bed bug comes, the more you try to wipe, they multiply. Similarly, there's a caterpillar also in the garden. Some people burn the caterpillar so that they will not spread. They spread even more. So, actually, you will see that when the Yakshas were about to be wiped out, Swayambhu Manu came and took objection. He told Dhruva that this is not proper. Everybody in this world born, they have the right to live. You have your right to live. They have their right to live. Why do you want to wipe them out? Like you see, a dog was lying under a man was lying under a shady banyan tree. A dog also wanted to come and take shelter of the banyan tree. It was a hot, sunny day. Man immediately picked up a stone. The tree asked the man, hey, I am giving you shelter. I am giving the dog shelter. What is your problem? Why don't you allow the dog to coexist with you? So, in this way, you will find, like for example, in Thane, in Bombay, there are 3 temple projects within 3 kilometers each. Can you imagine like this? One is 2 kilometers, one is 3 kilometers. That's the 3, I think. 3, one is attached to one Raivathanandan Prabhu, I think from Juhu, I think. And one is attached to Hara Prabhu, he's also from Juhu. And third one is with Karnataka Prabhu's counsel, this Pankajago Prabhu from Pune. Spiramal group has given one. So 3 temples are there, and all 3 temples have been accepted by ISKCON. And all 3 are approved centers. Now you may wonder, oh, how can these temples exist within 3 kilometers? Will there not be a clash? You go to Secunderabad, as Grace Sahadev Prabhu was telling, there are 12 churches around the Secunderabad temple. Big churches, he said. And all within 2 kilometers distance. Gali gali mein church. He said, big churches, he said. But they have no clash at all, he said. He said, clash is in our head only. Because we have no ability to, even if you say, for example, you are going to one gated community or a colony, can any of you say that all the people will be made into devotees by you? Not even 2% you can make. It's very difficult. In one building, you will find it's a 40-story, 30-story building. Thousands of houses are there. You put up a program in the ground floor or in clubhouse, how many people come? Very few people come. So, in IIT Kharagpur, we have 5 different groups preaching in one college. And each group has 10 to 15 people, 10, 15 or 20 people. And what is the college population? 8,000, 10,000 boys. And you have 20 people, 5 groups, and 100 boys. That's all you cultivate. And if somebody says, we are the first one to preach here, nobody else should come. If you say like that, it's called as putting kerchief, you call it. Put kerchief and catch. Just like in train, people put kerchief from the window, no? It's like that. So, that is why you find it's insecurity, you see. This is wiping out consciousness, this superiority complex. Like you can see the Kritadyuti begot a child, our Harshashoka. Then all the queens felt, oh, the king Chitraketu, Kritadyuti and Harshashoka, they have become one unit. Husband, wife and child. And king comes here But when he comes to Antapur, straight he goes to whom? Kritaditi, and meets the child and the wife. And one queen said, "Oh, he never looks at us nowadays. We have become unimportant now." And then she said, "I think the king is treating us like a maid servant." Another queen said, "Who said like a maid servant? He's treating us like a maid servant or maid servant?" She said, "That is the way he is treating us." Then they said, "How can we bring Kritaditi to our level?" That means Kritaditi minus Harshishoka will be our level. Yeah, that's why they did minus. You can see that. So, in order to, like he said, if I don't prove myself greater than them, I'll be forgotten. The fear of losing importance, the fear of losing one's position, that's something that turns into the superiority complex, where one says, I am great, I am this, I am that. They become very self-boastful. See, one more example. Read that. Where's the mic? Yeah, yes, Puji.
Hiranyakashipu, outward behavior, proclaimed I am God, forced the entire world to worship him, presented himself as supreme, invincible, flawless.
See, in Krishna book, you read, in the pastime of Govardhan Leela, Prabhupada says something interesting. He says, after man tries to, in this world, become successful, he tries in every field. It can be singing field, it can be writing field, it can be speaking field, it can be business field. He tries in many fields to go up, 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 up. When the Jiva is not able to go to the topmost position, he thinks, I am not able to go. So then he proclaims that I am God. Prabhupada writes there. Actually, he is not even able to go to the top position in the material world. How can he be God? He claims to be God. He says, here also this fellow, he claimed to be God. Hidden in the truth.
He was unable to accept even one voice of disagreement. His son Prahlad. A truly confident person is never threatened by a child.
How can he be threatened by a child, isn't it? So he was threatened by this 5-year-old boy because he thought that if this boy doesn't obey me, then what will people think? Let me tell you a true story. There was one counselor, and that counselor in his group, there was one counseling couple. The couple decided that we want to move out of this group to another group. So they invited the counselor to their home for dinner, prasad. So they gave 8, they went at 7:30, they had a nice kirtan something, and then they took prasad. 9 o'clock when they were about to leave, and then the counselor said, "Oh, I want to politely present it to you. We were thinking of joining that other group. We are very comfortable. They speak our mother tongue. We are more comfortable with them. And we are very grateful to you for all that you have done for us and everything." So the counselor was so shattered hearing that. He started asking, "What have we not done for you? We did this, we did this, we did this. Right from the beginning of your spiritual life, we have given our sweat and toil for you." And, uh, so in this way, both husband and wife are speaking another 1.5 hours. They told what all they have done, glories and everything. And this devotee counselor said, "Oh, no, I 100% agree with all that you have done for us. We never said you didn't do anything. You did everything." At the same time, you see, there are certain things we feel little difficult to open up to you. We are more comfortable with that devotee. We are feeling little this thing. What is lacking in us that you cannot open up to us? You tell us, we are ready to fill up that gap so that you can remain in our group only. They were saying. So it went on till 11:30, 12. At night, this back and forth discussion. Then later on, the couple brought it up to the top management that they are not letting us go out to another group. When that counselor was called, what the counselor said, if this couple moves out from our group and goes to another, then all others will become disturbed. इधर छोड़कर उधर क्यों जा रहे हैं? क्या चल रहा है? People will talk like that. Then he said, then not only that, that person who went to other group may also talk to this group and say that, yeah, I'm very happy here in the new group. This counselor is very nice, very good counselor. What all benefits I'm getting in this group. Then one by one people will start migrating from here to there, here to there. One, like the video games play, it goes like. That is the fear people have. Huh? So then imagine in his group, if 50 people are there, it becomes only 20 people. 30 people migrated there. Correct, no? So then that was his fear, if that happens. And the more people migrate, and the migration rate may increase over time. Huh? And I may not have anybody. So this is not only in a council group, even in ISKCON temples also. Imagine multiple temples are in the same lane. Every temple should put up a irresistibly attractive package of programs. Huh? And that you have the right to attract people. Huh? For example, you modify your approach, huh? Both in terms of people dealing, both in terms of organizing the event, huh? And in terms of the content presentation, substance that you give. Huh? And with all these things, if people are attracted, then they will come to you. Correct, no? So, are we allowed to make it attractive or not? That are we allowed to criticize other group or not? That is the whole point. Instead of criticizing them, you know, you can make your presentations superior, better, and then some people will stick on to you. Because in this world, you will see even in ISKCON audience, many people are looking for different things. Huh? Like some people want, Sanskrit, technical, Sandhi, Vichhed, and all that you do and explain. They like it. There is if you are able to be a speaker, like we have one Kanai Govind Prabhu in Pune, speaks very beautifully. He speaks, and he has his following. Huh? There are people who are very fond of him. Then there are people who like leelas very much. If your katha, your class should be dripping with honey, huh? From the leelas. Huh? And new leelas from here, there you bring Gopal, Champu, Anand, Vrindavan, Champu. They will say, ask Prabhuji ne badhiya bataya. There are some people who are mad after leela. Huh? And some guys, for leela, they don't like, they say, philosophy. Huh? So, pakka, tattva, siddhant bolna chahiye. Huh? They want siddhant, they want hardcore philosophy. Some people want practical application. Like, no, क्या आप बड़ा बड़ा बात करते हैं हमारे जीवन में क्या करना बताओ huh? What should we do in our life, you tell us. So one thing you will observe in ISKCON, Krishna has created ISKCON in such a way that there are preachers who are also different type of diverse preachers. Huh? Every preacher has different type of style. Like you see Gauranga Darshanpu, for example, he presents purely from the Bhagavatam. He will quote shlokas with very nice tunes, and then he will narrate the pastime without taking, not even this way, that way, he will not go straight, he will go. You will see like that. Huh? And we have Gauranga Prabhu, he will begin with the pastime. After 10 minutes, people will be catching their belly. Ha, 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 ha. He can make. He has a lot of things to share in real life, practical life, his experience across the globe, isn't it? So, Amogla Prabhu, he has made one rap song. You saw that? For distributing books in Marathon, Bhagavad Gita. You saw that? Yesterday he is amazing brahmachari. He's attractor. He's a youth icon. Huh? How he brings. Actually, he really has made many dead people into lively people. Huh? Youths who are practically dead. In the song also he shows. He's making them open their eyes and read the Bhagavad Gita and become devotees. Huh? So, Amarendra Prabhu, he has another style, correct? No? You will find Krishna has made everybody differently. So just like you have different birds, you have parrot, you have peacock, you have cuckoo, you have different type of birds. Huh? So every preacher should be seen as unique. There is no need to compare one bird to another bird or one fruit to another fruit. Even if you ask in a classroom like this, how many of you like a particular fruit? There will be some people who will raise the hand. Huh? Some people like apple juice, some people like pineapple juice, somebody like grapes juice, somebody like mango juice. Different people like different juices. Similarly, for any preacher, there are always some audience available. So don't worry, you will have your audience. So you will have your market, you will have your audience. Be happy. Don't criticize others. That is the point. For you to look better than others, don't criticize others. So here you find what this fellow thought. If others don't praise me, maybe I am not great. His superiority was a shield covering a painful sense of insufficiency. See, how do you understand this? Before tapasya, Hiranyakashipu thought that, I am not noticeable in this world. For me to become noticeable, I should go to the forest and do tapasya. Such a kathor tapasya I will do. And he had such a self-importance that he thought that I'll become the biggest man in the world. That was his idea. See one more here. See this? Ravana. Read that.
Ravana, outward behavior, flaunted knowledge, power, devotion to Lord Shiva and women, mocked Rama as just a man from the jungle. Hidden in truth, he knew very well that Rama was no ordinary man. That is why he refused to meet him face to face in the battlefield initially. He waited until he was fully armed and surrounded. His mockery, who is Rama, covered deep fear of Rama's divinity.
See, he knew very well that Ram killed Kara and Dushan along with 14,000 Rakshasas in Janastan, Nasik. Correct, no? Ravana was shocked when he heard that. So then how can he call them as simple forest dwellers? When he was talking to Hanuman. When Hanuman came, even to Sita, he said, "Hey, why are you after this forest dwellers?" Like that he said. He's superficially saying, but he knows how big Rama is. Correct, now how powerful Rama is. See, this is the nature of the superiority complex. They know the power of the other person and they don't like it. And they hide it. They mask it. And they try to minimize their size. And they want to make them less important. And they want to make themselves more important. So Ravana told, don't give any seat of honor for this monkey to sit. He told the ministers, let him stand. Because by making Hanuman stand, he wanted to humiliate Ram. Because he is whose representative? Therefore he asked, hey Vanara, who are you? He said, Dasoham Kaushalendrasya Ramasya Aklishta Karmanaha. Like that he says. I am servant of Rama, whose character is spotless. Like that Hanuman said. So Hanuman said, don't worry, you don't have to give me chair. I'll make my own chair. See what chair he made. So he made such a tall chair, Ravana had to look up like that. You see? Yeah. Yeah. See this Kartavirya Arjuna, another example.
Kartavirya Arjuna, Shastra Arjuna. Outward behavior showed great pride in his 1,000 arms and power, considered himself unconquerable, mocked sages and righteous kings, hidden in a truth. He was terrified of losing control and felt insecure without constant domination.
Some people want to constantly dominate others. They feel insecure and then only they are satisfied. And their constant domination produces so much of heat and problem for other living entities. And then?
When Parshurama appeared, his false superiority cracked instantly. He panicked.
Yeah. So how do we know that we have, what are some of the signs of having superiority complex? See, this small kid you are seeing here. See, mother is coming and seeing the glass is broken and is showing hand to this child. Do you think the child has broken that? Such a poor. See, right behind him, what the mother is watching? Cricket bat. Mother knows who has broken it. Correct? Because he knows he doesn't want the punishment, so he's showing hand to the child. So that's the nature of these people. Read that. Read this one. They will claim I am never wrong. Yeah.
Signs of one having superiority complex. They are never wrong. They make sure to prove that others are wrong, not themselves. But why do they feel this way? Simply put, they are not truly happy with who they are as a person. And rather than deal with those feelings, they instead choose to essentially highlight a perfect version of themselves. For them, admitting to mistakes would just ruin this false version of themselves that they rely on.
See, this fellow is saying, I am never wrong. I thought I was wrong once, but I was not wrong. But I thought I was wrong once. I was wrong means that I was never wrong, he says. See that lady, what is she saying? To save time, let's just assume I am never wrong. She's saying, you see. So, actually, sometimes these people admit their mistake, but the other person tells, thank you that you have admitted. No. Actually, I will tell you exactly how things happened. It's not my mistake. They will just immediately try to cover up. That is why you see right bottom, read that. Learn to
admit your mistakes before someone exaggerates the story.
Correct, no? See, if you don't admit the mistake, which is only this much, the story is going to build as if the mistake is. Yeah, how many have observed that? Correct, no? If one doesn't admit, it's going to become a bigger story. And later on, even if you admit, people won't believe you. Better to admit. That's what he's saying. Second one.
Signs of one having superiority complex. They have unfiltered sense of entitlement. People with superiority complexes think everyone is beneath them and they deserve everything they want. They struggle to recognize that everyone deserves equal levels of respect and think they can treat people however they want in order to achieve their goals.
Yeah, actually, these people with superiority complex, they don't know that as I want respect from all others, others also want to be respected. That they don't know. They only think about whose need? Their own need. That is why I'm telling you, this is too much self importance. See, just like you feel hungry, others also feel hungry. Just as you need respect, others also need respect. Just as you want to be treated warmly, others also want to be treated warmly. Yeah. Just as you would not like to be ridiculed, nobody likes to be ridiculed. So this is something serious point we should think about in our life. What I am doing to others, how much pain am I causing to others? One should think about it. And we should. This is called as Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma in Bhagavad Gita. One who compassionately is empathic about the other living entity. He can actually see he can understand the feelings of others. Read the next para there.
Being compensated for a lack of nurturing and affection by spoiling them with material gifts. This means they lack morals and standards or don't understand the value of earning.
This is even more deeper point it is. See, their upbringing compensated for a lack of nurturing and affection by spoiling them with material gifts. What is the meaning of this? Sometimes parents don't give genuine love to children, but they pamper them. There was one parent, for their, daughter's birthday. They filled the whole house with balloons. Dress, very costly, making a very big cake, calling all the friends and putting up a party. If I don't put a party like that for my daughter, see, they are fanning their own ahankar in the name of celebrating a birthday party for their daughter. And then bringing all their friends and blowing up the candle and cutting cake and showing how affluently we live. And not that they are very, very big family or something. Idea is many parents actually want to pamper their own false ego, but they do it through their children. Like that. Spoiling the children with material gifts. Instead, take your daughter to the temple, circumambulate the deities, bow down to the deities, chant some names, make devotees do some kirtan, distribute some Bhagavad Gitas, and take her to the Goshala and feed cows something. Isn't it? Do some seva. Then the child gets some sanskaras, good sanskars. People will not do that. But because they want to blow their own trumpet to show to society, see us, see our beauty, like that. And many people are doing that. You will be shocked to know sometimes even devotees do that sometimes. Actually, no, once you become a devotee, how are you different from the karmis? If we are devotees, we should do something spiritual. Like imagine, for example, if you are having a birthday, what do? You don't go to a hill station just like a karmi tourist goes. If it's a marriage anniversary day, it's not that it's a marriage anniversary day. You remember your quote unquote good old days before coming to Krishna consciousness, and then you go to do some nonsense in a hill station. You are supposed to be doing something more spiritual than before. Correct, no? So then, what is the meaning of a devotee? Devotee doesn't mean you have a tag of a devotee and you don't behave like a devotee. Yeah. So we should not spoil the children with material gifts. Next. So here I have given almost a dozen ways how we can see this solution here. What do we do with superiority complex? If we do each of these items, even if we have deep-seated insecurities, they will all get evaporated if we do this. The easiest way to get rid of insecurity is to begin respecting others. I read that.
Examples of how to show respect to others. Be a good listener and understand their wants, need, understand their wants, needs, and point of view.
So this is the first way. Be a good listener. Hmm. Ask people what do they want, what are their needs. Understand their opinion. Don't push your own opinion into others. So this is the very first thing. See, God has given us a mouth and an ear, but a mouth closes and opens, whereas ear is always open. So that should teach us something. Correct, no? Why mouth closes and opens? Because we are supposed to keep it closed sometimes. Whereas the ears are always be willing to listen. Correct, no? Yeah.
Examples of how to show respect to others. Talk about your needs and wants in a direct yet calm and respectable way.
Yeah. See, you can express definitely your needs and wants. You can express it. It's not wrong to see. There was one project which was done by two people, and then the A and B. Now, what happened? They finished it in the night, late night, 10 o'clock. They finished. Then next day they were supposed to go to the boss and present it to the boss at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock next day. They both agreed. But one of the fellows, B, he directly sent, the outcome results to the boss the night only. And the boss called back and said, "Wow, you all have completed it. Great." And he appreciated this B very much. "Yes, sir, we stretched ourselves a bit and we completed it and everything." So next day, 11 o'clock, when they went to boss, and the boss told A, "Oh, I got everything at night only. I got at 10:30, I understood everything. Good. You guys have done a good job." But so the boss had a favorable impression towards whom? Because the work was actually done by A and B did a side job. But he hurriedly presented it to the boss in order to be in his good book so that when promotion comes, boss will look at him favorably. People do that or not? So then what should A do? A can pick up a very heated quarrel with B. It can happen, which is what happens in the world most often. "तुमने ऐसा कर दिया ना, अगले बार, I will push you aside and I will go." People do that. Instead, A can say, "See, Prabhu, you know, we both invested time and energy. Next time we go, let's go together." You understand? As much as you want to be in the good books of the boss, I also want to be. Because we both are doing the work together. Please don't try to sideline me. And you can politely, that's what he's saying, calm and respectful way, you can present your needs and wants. Rather than, catch his collar and give a punch on the nose. Yeah.
When they request something, respond in a timely manner.
Yeah. This is another way of showing your respect, not ignoring people. Some people, you write mail to them, you send WhatsApp message, you make phone call, practically like putting a stone in a well. Zero response. Some people dead, as if it's dead only. You don't know whether they got the news or not. See, even if you get one missed call from somebody, you should call back and ask, "What was the point? Please tell me," or whatever. So responding to others is a sign of respect also. Mm.
Acknowledge what they do well and let them know they are appreciated.
Actually, unfortunately, many of us, we keep our appreciation in the heart. We don't tell it. But feedback, we tell it. So then others, what they tend to think? We only don't like what they do. But they don't know that we also are appreciating what they do. So we have to make a change in this. So when we want to give a correction, we keep it inside. We don't tell immediately. We wait and watch what they do. But appreciation, we should liberally give it. Yeah.
When they share intimate details about their lives, keep it private.
Yeah. Yes, put a zip. Correct. Especially when people reveal confidential things to you, because they have to vent it out somewhere. And they are already taking help. So we don't have to go and play the trumpet everywhere, beat the drum and tell everybody. Because if you are going to release confidences, nobody will come to confide with you after that.
Making comparisons, call attention to their strengths, not their weaknesses.
Yeah. So, like for example, in case you make a comparison, you can tell them what are they special at. See, you are very special in this. If you focus on this, you will flourish. then they feel very confident. Oh, really, Prabhu, you observed that in me? Thank you. Then I will focus in that direction, they will say. Rather than tell them, see, Prabhu, you are not good in giving lectures, you see. You may be, it's all right, you may do kirtan, but you are not so good in giving lectures. So better that, you don't go for preaching. If you say this, they remember for whole life. Instead of that, you can say, Prabhu, you are so good in kirtan. All the groups are inviting you for their, festivals and kirtan. So if you can put your attention on this, tomorrow you can lead Harinam. Tomorrow you can teach all our devotees how to do kirtan, all the playing of the instruments. This can be your main service, Prabhu, you say. Then they will feel encouraged.
When using humor, be sensitive to their feelings and avoid embarrassing them.
Yeah. Actually, humor sometimes is very enjoyable, but we can't cut jokes on others in such a way that will make them cry, and that will make them distanced. One should be very careful. So, in Sangha of devotees, sometimes humor is wonderful, but we should be careful because humor has a flip side where it can deeply hurt somebody. We can cut a joke about ourselves, like a self-deprecating joke, how I was fooled by somebody and how I did a mistake, and people can laugh and nobody will mind it. They'll say, Prabhuji gave such a beautiful realization of his own mistake. They won't mind it. But if you crack a joke on an audience, other people, they will not forget it for life. Yeah.
Speak directly with them about your concerns and don't talk behind their back.
Yeah. So, His Grace Ravindra Sir Prabhu said, people don't talk each other. They talk about each other. People talk to dozens of people. Instead of that, you can be honest. You can go to them and say about your concern, what you feel. Like, for example, uh, uh, one devotee had quoted some detail about something in ISKCON. The other devotee started quoting him to many, many people. See, in ISKCON, he says this problem is there. And this devotee said, oh, wait a minute, I talk to you. I don't want you to go and tell everybody. It's between you and me. Why are you spreading it that I told this, everybody? Then people actually look down upon me, he said. So sometimes if you have a concern about somebody's speech or behavior, you can directly talk to them. Like, for example, a devotee is snoring, while sleeping in the same room. So instead of going and telling everybody about his snoring, you can tell that devotee only. Correct, no? Then the problem can be solved. Maybe he'll go to another place and sleep. So our concern should be broad. Many people fear to tell on the face, but you can politely bring it.
Allow them space if they need it.
Yeah, there is something called emotional distancing. Somebody is not comfortable in your group. They want to move out of your group and go to another place. You can respectfully allow them and not force them to be under you. And why we want to keep them under us, there are various reasons for that. One is that mamata we feel, some vatsalya we feel for somebody whom we brought to Krishna consciousness. And we want them to be under us. But sometimes they grow very fast in spiritual life and they are not satisfied with what we are offering. So they want to associate with more advanced devotees. That's one reason. Another possibility is that our relationship with them, because we think I brought this person to Krishna consciousness, we tend to dominate them. And then they feel that, hey, I don't like this dominating thing. Other counselor respectfully deals with me, so I want to go there. So they want to move there. Or geographically, their job may be far away from me. They want to connect with somebody else, which is more nearer for them. That's possibility. Another possibility is they are able to open up to others, not to open up their problems to me because I may ridicule or whatever. So, in whatever be the case, all of them space if they want it. The reason I'm telling you, many of my programs I have kept it voluntary for this reason only. Why? Because if we overly make a very mechanized type of follow-up, put them in a machine type of thing, make, that doesn't work actually. The long run, Every jiva has free will. Even Krishna doesn't control the free will of jiva. He's like, okay, you want to go to material world, go anywhere you want to roam, as many lifetimes you want to take your own sweet time. You know, isn't it? See, if I keep somebody under me who doesn't want to be under me, who will be unhappy? Both will be unhappy. Correct? Both will be unhappy. On the other hand, it's a voluntary relationship. In a voluntary relationship, then I am also thinking about this in Pune also, in Hyderabad also. I am going to make two type of systems. Now with SLATE, we are going to stop this kind of program. And we are going to, coming year 2026, we are going to have only 4 days. 4 full days, we are going to organize program. And all the 3 groups, we have Singapore City and Gachibowli and Temple group. So all the leaders together will come. It's close to around 100 leaders. So everybody will come and you all will get to see each other, presentations of different devotees. There will be panel discussion, there will be dramas, many things will be there. Very interesting it will be. That's how we are going to do it. But I don't want to make it compulsory. I'm going to make it voluntary. But those who are not a part of it, I will have a separate performance appraisal for them. I will say that you are not under this system, then you be under another system, which will be official system, where we will make some form which they will have to fill up. Some accountability will be there for them. So they can take inspiration from wherever they want. But they have to be accountable to the local, project community by fulfilling certain parameters. So like that, I'm going to make it. I have not yet made it. I'm going to make it in the coming week. Because I am going to keep the program, SLATE program. You all know what is SLATE program now. You have an idea. So here we have been having 2 hours of speech here. But when we do a one-day program, we can also have some skits. We can have presentations. We can have many things we can have. And multiple people will present like that, isn't it? So again, I will be announcing it that all the leaders are expected to attend this. It will be beneficial for you. And later on when you are teaching other people. And then those who are not a part of it, those who are not coming, I'm already seeing that in certain SLATE programs, some of the prominent leaders are not showing up. But next day they will come to me with a big problem. In my group, somebody is talking like this, somebody is talking like that, Prabhuji, I said the same talk I was talking on SLATE yesterday. I said, you go and hear. I told him, go and hear the recording. I know, Prabhuji, what you speak. So, see, I know that people have problems. That's why we are discussing these things. But many of the grown-up leaders, they don't want to come and sit and hear. But this group is an exception. Your group is very, very special. Madhagunapur is a first-class example. Although he himself knows a lot, he has been bringing all of it together and he personally has been taking part also. So, now 4 days in a year, we are telling them to block right now. Before, now it is 3rd November, right? Before 3rd December, before mid-December, all these things what I'm telling will be planned. So in the beginning of the year only, you block those 4 days. I'm going to tell you. Is it? Yeah.
1st January
Yeah.
in Dwarkapuri Hall in the temple. 1st May, 15th August, and 24th October.
15 August is, nobody can forget these dates. Correct. 1st January and then? First May is Workers' Day.
Workers' Day.
Workers' Day and then
15th August and 24th October.
Perfect. And what is special on 24th October? Yeah. 15th August, everybody knows.
October.
24th October. But it's a government holiday for all Hyderabad, I heard. Yeah. It's Dashara, is it? They have found out that these 4 days are good for everybody. They have found out that. Unless somebody doesn't want to come, they can't escape these days. They can't, and also we are announcing well in advance. Correct, no? Nobody can say, sorry, Prabhuji, last minute.
24th is a Saturday.
And also not all Saturdays are off. 2nd and 4th Saturday is off for most people. Correct? Bank employee. Is it 2nd or 4th Saturday?
Oh.
Correct, no? Correct. So the whole idea is we want to give space to people. Okay, you be inspired by me or you be inspired by whomever you are. Like sometimes when I go for the lectures, I say, here Pranav Prabhu's lecture, I tell people who are Telugu, because I am speaking in English, somebody is translating my talk in Telugu. The audience is mostly Telugu. I tell them, hear his lecture, because they can naturally hear, correct, no? So we should give people space. Our goal should be to facilitate the devotional service, not to promote ourselves. No? So these are all the things put together. If you want, you can take one snapshot, you get everything. You see? All the things I showed you till now. All the different things, examples of how to show respect to others. Almost how many? 9 points in one. So there are many points like this. They constantly compare themselves to others. They cannot resist the urge to compare themselves. They don't often recognize the self-esteem issue within themselves. They also don't understand their emotions, and therefore they can't control them. Yes. See, warning symptoms of extreme mood swings. Read the below one, women.
Women experience extreme mood swings in a variety of ways, but some women have intense mood shifts that affect their daily activities.
Out of the two, man and woman, the women are more emotionally driven. So therefore, why should the man know this? We should be sympathetic. That's why we should know it. Not to blame them or point finger to them. They undergo a lot of challenges. Similarly, the teens also, in their hormonal secretions, when they happen, they undergo tremendous emotional turmoils. So, like here you see, what are the emotional turmoils? Loss of energy. Read that.
Loss of energy, hopelessness, difficulty concentrating, sadness, restlessness, feelings of worthlessness, anger, aggression, irritability, crying spells, panic attacks, anxiety.
And all these things lead to lack of motivation. So the mood swings happen in them very easily. So then actually, if they also know about this, see, it's not like guerrilla warfare, correct? No, you know the challenges. So of course, this is Kamsa who had mood swings. See here, he is releasing the chains and telling his sister and Vasudev. And the next day, when he went to the court, here you look at his behavior. When he heard the ministers, then again his mood swung back to asaric pravritti. Again. Everything is all about them. They are very self-centered. Yeah. He's saying self-praise is for losers. Be a winner. Stand for something. Always have class and be humble, he's saying. Usually struggle with compassion for others. They can't show compassion. They're absorbed in their own insecurities and they're too busy crafting their self-perception to try to understand others. Actually, because they are too much image conscious, image conscious, self-image conscious, showing sympathy, empathy and all is difficult for them, for these people. So there is a very good book called as Vaishnava Compassion by His Holiness Satsvadas Maharaj. If any of us feel I am very self-righteous, I'm very proud and boastful about myself, that book is very helpful book, which can help us. Like for example, when you practice empathy, these are the benefits. Read the benefits of the skills that are strengthened by empathy. Very important.
Negotiation, collaboration, creativity, feeling safe, emotional connection, identifying needs.
See, all this is very easy if you can feel the way others feel. The negotiation becomes very easy with others. You can collaboratively work with others. And your mind is very cool. You can be creative. And people feel safe in opening heart. And people feel that emotional connection. Oh, thank you for understanding me. People feel like that. And you can identify others' needs very quickly without even them spelling it out. Observation. Yeah. Which one? Vaishnava Compassion by Satsvadas Maharaj. Satsvadas Maharaj. SDG. Yeah, Satsvadas Goswami Maharaj. That's a very good book it is. It's available in Pune, it's available here, I'm not sure. Yeah. It's not just what they see. Look at this picture. See, do you think I should have started with something smaller like going up ladder, one rung at a time? He's asking, that's too late. Actually, he's trying to, copy the other person. Correct? No? Other person is marching ahead. This fellow tried to imitate him, but then suddenly realized it's becoming too much for him. Behind, you see here, correct? No? They emphasize the strengths, do some work behind the scenes on weak points, and go through life in ways that highlight what they are good at. When you do that, it just enforces their self-confidence. Actually, see the heading, read the heading.
So insecure about everything. What should I do to overcome this feeling of insecurity?
If somebody asks you this question, the answer is here. Yeah.
People who feel insecure tend to focus on what they are not so good at, and people who are confident tend to focus on what they are good at. That is the only difference between confident and insecure person. It's not that a confident person does not know that they have weakness. They do. They are not ignoring them. It's just not what they think about and put forth front and center.
Don't always think about weakness, but sometimes visit your weakness and try to work on it. How they work on it, that's next para.
They emphasize their strength.
Yes.
Do some work behind the senses and weak points.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes on weak points, and go through life in ways that highlight what they are good at. And when do you do that? It just reinforces their self-confidence.
Yeah. So in this way, I'll conclude with this. We are getting late also. But this is a verse you can read as a homework. What is the verse number? Prahlad is talking about, demoniac vision and devotee vision in one purport. It's there in 7th canto. Very nice verse. Number is here. 7, 8, 10. 7, 8, 10. So that's Prahlad. Thank you very much. Prabhupada ki.
Thank you, Prabhu, for coming all the way here. And the next classes are going to be in different places. First one